Students, we are going to start a new chapter, that is probability. So before starting the chapter probability, I must make you know what is probability is. Probability is a numerical measure of likelihood that a certain outcome of a random experiment will occur. So when we perform any experiment like throwing the dice or tossing the coins, you just observe that their outcomes. Then you will learn to measure the chance of occurrence of a particular outcome in an experiment. Suppose I want a head to come up, then you have to note how many times the head has come up, and you have to note how many times you have tossed the coin. Then the probability of the head to come up will become the fraction of number of times the head comes up by the number of times you have tossed the coin. Okay students, so before starting the exercise 15.1, please note down these points. Probability of a particular event in an experiment is equal to number of trials which the event happened by the total number of trials. Probability of an event can be any fraction from 0 to 1. In an experiment, the sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. That is probability of event 1 plus probability of event 2 plus probability of event 3 is equal to 1. The probability of an event which is impossible to occur is 0. Such an event is called an impossible event. The probability of an event which is sure to occur is 1. Such an event is called a sure event or certain event. So probability of event is always greater than equal to 0, but it is less than equal to 1. So let's start exercise 15.1. First question of 15.1 is the fill in the blanks. Just now I have given you some points to note down. From that points you have to fill the blanks. So probability of an event E plus probability of the event not E should be equal to 1. And the probability of an event that cannot happen is 0. Such an event is called impossible event. Okay students, just now I have told you to note down these points, and from these points you have to write, you have to fill the blanks. The probability of an event that is certain to happen is 1, and such an event is called certain event or sure event. The sum of the probabilities of elementary events of an experiment is equal to 1. The probability of an event is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. Okay students, so let's solve question number 4. Which of the following cannot be the probability of an event? So just now I have told you the probability of the event should be greater than equal to 0 but less than equal to 1. So 2 by 3 is greater than 0 but less than 1. So it can be the probability, but option B minus 1.5. Here negative integer is given, so it is less than 0. But probability of event should always be greater than equal to 0. So this can't be the probability of an event. So C, look at the option C, that is 15%. So 15% is, that means 15 by 100. That is also greater than 0 but it is less than 1. So it can be the probability of event, and here 0.7 is greater than 0 but less than 1. So this also can be the probability of an event, but option B cannot be because it is negative integer, and negative integer is always less than 0. Next, question number 5. If a probability of the event is 0.05, then what is the probability of not E? So we know that the probability of event plus probability of not E is equal to sum of the probability of E and sum of probability of not E is equal to 1. So by putting the value of probability E is equal to 0.05 in that equation, what we get, let's see. Here putting the value of probability E as 0.05, we get probability of not E is equal to 1 minus 0.05. Bring this 0.05 to its right hand side, it will become minus 0.05. So 1 minus 0.05 is equal to 0.95. So probability of not E is equal to 0.95 is the answer. So next question, question number 6. Here a bag contains lemon flavored candies only. Malini takes out one candy candy without looking into the bag, what is the probability that she takes out an orange flavored candy? Here it is written in the question that a bag is full of lemon flavored candies only. It doesn't contain any other flavored candies. So an orange flavored candy is impossible event. So orange flavored candy is an impossible event. So it is equal to the probability that she takes out and orange flavored candy is equal to 0. So see how I have written. Let E is the event that she takes out an orange flavored candy. Bag contains lemon flavored candies only. So let number of lemon flavored candies is equal to K. So there is no orange flavored candies. That means the number of orange flavored candies, number of the favorable event is equal to 0. So probability of the favorable event is number of orange flavored candies by total number of candies. So number of orange flavored candies is equal to 0 and the total number of lemon candies is equal to K. So 0 by K is equal to 0. Next part is a lemon flavored candy. You have to find out the probability that she takes out a lemon flavored candy. So let F denotes the event that she takes out a lemon flavored candy. Let number of lemon flavored candies in the bag is equal to K. So probability of F event is equal to number of lemon flavor candies in the bag and total number of candies. So that is K by K is equal to 1. So now question number 9. A box contains 5 red marbles, 8 white marbles and 4 green marbles. So one marble is taken out of the box at random. What is the probability that the marble taken out will be red, white or not green? So here the box contains how many types of marbles? Red marbles, white marbles and green marbles. So here number of red marbles in the box is equal to 5. Write down. Number of white marbles is equal to 8. So number of green marbles is equal to 4. So total number of marbles is equal to, by adding up all the marbles we get 17 marbles. So let E is the event that the marble drawn is red. So probability of that favorable event is equal to number of favorable events is 5. Here the number of red marbles is equal to 5. So write 5 here in the numerator. And total number of marbles in the box is equal to 17. So write 17 in the denominator. So probability of the event E is equal to 5 by 17. So let F is the event that the marble drawn is white. Okay students, now write let F is the event that the marble drawn is white. So number of white marbles we know that 8 and total number of marbles we know 17. So probability that the marble drawn is white is equal to 8 by 17. So you have to write 8 in the numerator, number of white marbles, and total number of marbles 17 you have to write in the denominator. Next, now you have to, the third part of this question is you have to find the probability that the marble taken out will be not green. So let G bar or not green is the event that the marble drawn is not green. So here probability of G bar is equal to 13 by 17. So where from how I get 13? Now see, here red marble is not green, white marble is not green. So you have to add red marbles and white marbles because these are not green. You can't add the green marbles because here you have to find the probability of not green marbles. So you have to left the green marbles. You have to left the green marbles. Only just add the red marbles and white marbles. So it will become 8 plus 5 will become 13. So write down 13 by 17. 17 is the total marbles and 5 plus 8 is 13 is the not green marbles. So 13 by 17 is the probability that she takes out a not green marble. So next, Next, question number 12. Here you can see a game of chance consists of spinning an arrow which comes to rest pointing at one of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and these are equally likely outcomes. So what is the probability that it will point at 8? So here the favorable event is 8. Now here you can see an arrow is there and it is a spinning wheel, and this arrow will rest at any point on the wheel. So here you want the probability that it will point at 8. So 8 is written only once, and how many numbers are written on the wheel? 8 numbers are written. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all total 8 numbers are written on the spinning wheel, and you want that the arrow will rest on the point 8, that is written only once. So here you have to write the answer like this. Total number of numbers of the spinning wheel is equal to 8, and let E denotes the event that it will point at 8. So 8 is written only once. So write down 1. So the favorable outcome is only 1, and total possibilities of the outcome is equal to 8. So probability of the event E is equal to number of favorable events by total number of possible outcomes. So 1 by 8 is the answer. Okay students, so next part of this question, an odd number. So you see from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what are the odd numbers? Here 1 is the odd number, 3 is the odd number, 5 is the odd number, and 7 is the odd number. So total odd numbers are 4. Total odd numbers are 4. So the favorable outcomes are 4, and the possible outcomes are 8. Total number of possible outcomes are 8. So here let F denotes the event that it will point at an odd numbers. That is, number of favorable outcomes should be equal to 4, and the probability of F is equal to total number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes, that is equal to 4 by 8, and dividing 4 and 8 by 2, it will become 1 by 2. We get 1 by 2. Next part of the question, a number greater than 2. So now look at the numbers written on the spinning wheel. Greater than 2 means 3 is greater than 2, 4 is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 2, 6 is greater than 2, and 7 is greater than 2, and 8 is greater than 2. So how many numbers on the spinning wheel are greater than 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 numbers. Total 6 numbers are greater than 2. So the favorable numbers, total number of favorable outcome is 6. And total number of possible outcome is 8. So probability of G, that means G denotes the event that it will point at a number greater than 2. So here 6 by 8, dividing 6 and 8 by 2, we get 3 by 4. So probability of the event that it will point at a number greater than 0 is 3 by 4. Okay students, so next question, a number less than 9. So 1 to 8, all the numbers are less than 9. So total number of favorable outcomes are 8, and total number of possible outcomes are also 8. So 8 by 8 is equal to 1. So the probability that it will point at a number less than 9 should be equal to 1. So in this way you have to write down, students. Let H be the, you have to take some other English letter H be the event that it will point at a number less than 9. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all are less than 9. So total numbers are 8. So probability of H is equal to 8 by 8, that is equal to 1. So next question, question number 13. Here a die is thrown once. Find the probability of getting a prime number, a number lying between 2 and 6, and odd number. So we know that on the each face of die, the numbers are written from 1 to 6. Okay students, so total number of possible outcomes of a die is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total number of possible outcomes is 6. Okay, students. But we want that it will be a prime number. So how many prime numbers are there? 1 is not at all a prime number. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, and 5 is a prime number. So how many prime numbers are there? 1, 2, 3. So the favorable outcomes are, number of favorable outcomes are 3. So write down, number of favorable outcomes are is equal to 3. Okay, students. So 2, 3, 5 are prime numbers. So total prime numbers are 3. So probability of the event is equal to number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes, that is 3 by 6. So dividing 3 and 6 by 2, we get 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is the answer. Next part of the question, a number lying between 2 and 6. A number lying between 2 and 6. Number lying between 2 and 6 are 3, 4, 5. So total number of favorable outcomes are 3. 1, 2, 3. Total number of favorable outcomes are 3. So probability of the event is equal to total number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. So total number of favorable outcomes is 3 and total number of possible outcomes is equal to 6. So 3 by 6. Dividing 3 and 6 by 2, we get 1 by 2. So the probability of the event that a number lying between, that it will be a number lying between 2 and 6. Next part of the question, an odd number. Probability that it will be an odd number. So on the dice we know that the numbers written are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So among these 6 numbers, which are odd numbers, students? 1 is odd number, 3 is odd number, and 5 is odd number. So favorable outcomes are 1, 3 and 5. So total number of favorable outcome is 3 and the total number of possible outcome is 6. So 3 by 6, it is also 1 by 2 answer. That G be the event that it will be an odd number. Take another English letter, that is G. Be an odd number. So 1, 3, 5 are the odd numbers. So total number of favorable outcome is 3. 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. Like this you have to write down. So next question is question number 17. A lot of 20 bulbs contain 4 defective ones and 1 bulb is drawn at random from the lot. So here out of 20 bulbs, 4 are defective and the rest of the bulbs are good. So 20 minus 4, that is 16 bulbs are good in condition and 4 are defective ones. So what is the probability that this bulb is defective? Suppose the bulb drawn in. So you have to find the probability that this bulb is defective. So how you will find out? Students, write down like this. Total number of bulbs is equal to 20. So total number of possible outcome is equal to 20 also. So total number of defective bulbs we know that 4. So here, and total number of good bulbs is equal to 20 minus 4 is equal to 16. Next, let D is the event that the bulb is defective. So the number of favorable outcome is equal to 4. So just now I have told you that there are 4 defective bulbs. So your favorable outcome is equal to 4. So probability of the defective bulb is equal to number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. So 4 by 20. Write down 4 by 20 and dividing 4 and 20 by 4, we get 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 is the probability that the bulb is defective. So now next part of this question, try to understand. Suppose the bulb drawn in question number 1 is not defective. That means it was a good one. and is not replaced. Now one bulb is drawn at random from the rest. That means you have taken out a good one and you have kept it aside, and you haven't replaced it by any other bulb. That means the lot contains 19 bulbs, not 20 bulbs, because you have already taken out a good one and kept it aside. That means the lot contains 19 bulbs. So from these 19 bulbs you have taken out one more bulb. So what is the probability that this bulb is not defective? So you have to find out the probability of not defective bulb. Okay students, so you have taken out one good bulbs. So from 16 good bulbs you have already taken out in the first part and you have kept it aside. So that means the total number of good bulbs is equal to 15 and total number of bulbs in the lot is 19. Okay, so here you have to write down like this. Let G be the event that the bulb taken out is good from the remaining bulb. So total number of favorable outcome is equal to 15, because I have told you that there are 16 good bulbs, but in the question number 1, in the part 1, you have already taken out a good one good bulb. So 16 minus 1 becomes 15. So now this lot contains 15 good bulbs. So next, the probability of the good bulbs is equal to number of favorable outcome by total number of possible outcomes. So favorable outcome is 15 and the total number of possible outcomes will become 19, because 1 is less in the lot. So 20 minus 1 is 19. So 15 by 19 is the answer. Okay students. So in this way you try to solve all the questions that I haven't solved today in this class. All the unsolved questions you have to practice, and also the solved one. So students, let me finish my class. Thank you. See you again.